All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with our evening report watch list with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist. And I'm also here with my main man, Frank. Say what's up to the people, Frank.
Oh, what's up? What a great day we've had, Dex. Exciting stuff.
Awesome day. Awesome day. The analysis has been on point.
Yeah, we had a great discussion this morning. I do want to say some rumors are flying. All of the millions of people writing in saying, oh, my goodness, your feed was taken off live on YouTube once you mentioned some terrible names,
individuals.
terrible names. And I have to admit, folks, as much as I like that story, I will say you can watch the rest of the video on Rumble. We continued with the discussion and continued to say incredible, salacious things that are dangerous for your virgin ears. But we did not get kicked off YouTube. I suddenly said, my goodness, and realized we were still on YouTube saying all kinds of things that could get your channel destroyed off the face of the earth. So we jumped off. But I'm going to be quiet. In fact, I am going to mute myself and go away. But first, I want to let people know this is happening right here in our bullpen. And this is the members area. This is a miniaturized version. I kind of shrunk it so you could see it. You can see the report is right down here. This broadcast is happening here and will continue to happen right here for our members after we go off of Rumble and Twitter X and YouTube and Facebook. They will still be there, able to ask questions. And sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes we don't do that much. But in the evenings, Dex places his orders live and does that as a demonstration. And then if anybody has questions, we can look at and tear into and talk about anything you want. So we take a huge risk, people. Sometimes we're tired. We're old. We're kind of old. We're like 90 years oldish between the two of us.
Much.
And you know, but we take a risk because you might have questions. You might have a lot of questions, and we're here for it. We love it. So bring it on. And that happens in the morning. And then again in the evening after the reports are published, Monday through Thursday. And then also we have a big show on Sunday for the pre-market bullpen. So want to let you know that that's there. And also check out our memberships. There's a lot of great information here about the attack reports and what it is we do here. You can find out. This is the attack system origin story. And I think there were some typos in it, but it's dramatically written. I mean, look at this stuff. Long ages ago. Who puts that on a sales page? Something's
I
wrong
know,
with us,
right?
folks. Something's so wrong with us that you need to be here in the bullpen with us just because you belong. So check out pulsewavetrading.com and join our bullpen. We do have something special that we're working on. Believe it or not, folks, in addition to all the crazy things we do, we are, in fact, making an NFT, but not a useless collectible JPEG. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I've made some of that stuff myself. I like it too. It's fun. But this is going to be a membership NFT to the Algo Capitalist Society. And so you could read all about that. I'm honestly a little late with some of the artwork and stuff like that, but you know me. Being late is my love language. So check it out. It's not just for the cool art, which there will be cool art. It will be a limited time founders pass for the launch of the Capitalist Letter, Dex's new newsletter, which is going to be based on the attack reports, based on his incredible long-standing professional trading wisdom and financial geniusery, a new word, and based on things that are happening in our community and separate from our bullpen membership. So you can get that and a ticket, a founder's pass to the Algo Capitalist Society, which is the Web3 version of everything we're doing in the future. You could get that with just a yearly membership, and you get that pass as permanent. So you get a full year of the bullpen pro, thousands of reports and awesome content, and all that stuff in the future. You actually get the robust version of the letter, like the second tier of the letter that we're putting out. You'll get that forever in the Web3 version, along with the social aspects that come with the capitalist society. So I haven't pushed that enough lately because we've been doing webinars and stuff. Honestly, folks, you see what we're putting out. It's just the beginning. We're developing more. We've got some great people joining our team to work with us on different things. And this is very special. And so be here for the rising of the Algo Capitalist Society. And now I leave you to be here with Dex the Algo Capitalist as he shows you what's going on in these markets tonight. Take it away, Dex. Thanks, man.
Thank you for your update, my man.
Pleasure. Goodbye.
All right, folks. So as you know, we have been tracking these markets heavily, and I put out an alert late last night, and I warned everyone to go ahead and tighten up the stops on the Bitcoin. If you remember what I said last night too, is that I was concerned that it would be like the first time. The first time the market hit those all-time highs at 69,000. By the close of that day, the next day, we had a crash alert on the Bitcoin. And that's when the market proceeded to sell off until it hit the 3,000 mark. And I was concerned that something similar would happen again. So I said, to be on the safe side, go ahead and lock in some money, move your stop to 65K. Those that took that advice are happy today because they were able to step aside of the market with a decent, hefty profit. Now the market has pulled back, and it actually pulled back and hit our stop. So that's pretty dramatic to go from 70K down to 65K. That's pretty harsh, and that's pretty telling. And now, unfortunately, we got a crash alert, folks, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But first, we need to take a look at this theta. Theta breaking out monstrously today. Get just shy of 350. Theta of all people, right? So this one is uber bullish. New 52-week high in the theta, and it's just all out, locked in bull market. So we'll see how high this is going to go, but sky's the limit, I guess. This thing is showing some seriousness here, folks, and it's now standing up and being noticed, and you would do well to notice it also. The reports are out. So if you are participating in that market, you're going to want to go ahead and peep that report so you can see where you need to do with your stops. Next here is XRP Ripple, and look what we got, a crash alert. This thing didn't even get good in there yet. It got above the 60 handle, couldn't get to the 67 there, and the market just gave up. It got shy of 67, almost to 67, and then just gave up and just crashed into the close And now here we are with a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, with the beginning of a bearish momentum signal. So what are we going to do with that, right? When you get a bearish trend momentum indicator signal, we got to wait to see if there's going to be a downside production, and if it is, then you're coming back here to the support, and you may even break it. So XRP Ripple, it's a little concerning with what we just saw there. Then if you take a look at ZEC or Zcash, another parabolic sell-off. Look at that, man. That's a monster. All right, this is a monster right here. This is also showing that whatever nice little micro bear market you had is over, because this crash alert, this bar is monstrous. Now the market did stop short of dropping below the top of the Kumo cloud, so there may be something interesting to happen here, but we'll have to wait and see, because generally when you have something like this and you are in a bear market and this is the beginning of a bearish trend momentum reading, you normally come all the way back down and take out the old 52-week low supports. So this is going to be one that definitely needs to be watched. This is why it's so important to take profits along the way and to tighten up stops, because when these markets surprise you like this, you miss out on that nice opportunity. You ran from 20 all the way up to the low 30s here, and you could have tightened up that stop and walked away with a lion's share of the profit, but now the market's pulling back on you, and now you're in panic defense mode. Not a good mode to be in, right? Next, we got to take a look at the new all-time highs for gold, new 52-week highs as well, breaking above $2,155, folks. That is massive. All right, so we got to give credit where credit is due. Gold is saying, I'm here. I'm stand up and take notice of me. All right, locked in bull market. All right, there's nothing you can say about it. There's nothing bearish on the chart anymore. This market is locked and loaded and ready to roll. Bullish on the gold. Gold is looking really powerful right now, like extraordinarily powerful. If you take a look at silver, however, it's trying to give you that bear market rally we talked about. It's trying, okay? It really is trying. It got above the Kumo cloud here. You got a bullish trend momentum reading. All right, we've confirmed the two alerts back here of the positive bot checks. We got the big up legs here, which is what this was telling you was going to happen. Now the rest is up to silver. Can silver really get consecutive closes above this $24 handle? It needs to do it. It has to catch up to gold. It has not caught up to gold yet. It will not have caught up to gold until it takes out the old high back here of 26.36 on a close. Once it takes that out, then we can say, okay, silver has now caught up to gold, and we got a rally. All right, we got a rally, and then at that point too, you can get really deep. Now, speaking of getting deep, today's trading activity on silver is a blue bar. That means we have crossed over from a bear market to the possibility of the beginning stages of a bull market, which means you're looking at the top of the bear market for silver. All right. And you're looking at the possible bottom of the market for the bull scenario. Okay. The beginning stages. We'll see if it can keep it up. We ran into that back here, right? Bear market turned bullish and couldn't sustain. Still kept hope alive here after that technical bounce, but then gave it right back up again and started hitting lower. All right, so that was disappointing. Hopefully the second time around, silver will be able to do a little something. So we'll see. All right, so then the question is, okay, so then what about the dollar? Well, it's hanging out. It's hanging out there. You got a bullish trend momentum reading. The bear market rally is still intact. Price action is consolidating up here north of the Kumo cloud. And you have a positive bot check from several days ago that has not manifested yet. So we know at some point a big up leg is coming because we got the bot check to prove it. All right. Now, this one back here took a while as well. It took a long while before the market materialized, and then boom, it started. Okay. So, yeah. And these here, this was interesting too, because back here you had this, and you didn't really materialize like it was supposed to. Then back here, nothing. So you can say that the dollar has been storing up positive bot checks with no upsurges. So this 108 is looking better and better as the days are moving forward. I think the dollar is about to power up again, and it's going to be a big problem for gold, silver, and the euro. Okay. This here is looking like it. We're storing up all these positive bot checks. It is a super rare occurrence for the market to ignore positive and negative bot checks to this magnitude. So when this thing finally breaks out, it's going to run. We could even go up to 114 here. All right. So just FYI as we are moving forward. All right. So what is the other big question? Well, you want to know what's going on with the small caps. Small caps have been getting a lot of talk, and we got a crash alert based on today's price action into the close. So crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading for the Russell My Hustle. And yes, you still have a bearish trend momentum reading. That has not changed. You are in a sell the rally mode still in this Russell. And that's exactly what the market did. It came right up here trying to get close to taking out the old high. All right. You got to 2077. You needed back here to get to, 2097, whatever. And the market just collapsed. So that's a failed attempt here, which is basically a head and shoulders pattern. And so the next leg down should mimic this. So we should be coming down here now to test and take out the 52-week lows. I know, scary, 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 scary. I don't know if it has anything to do. John has a good question here. He says, so you think a dollar breakout could cause a dollar pop because of inflation and all fiat? You know, I'm not so certain as to the background noise concerning why it's doing it. I can only go by the technicals in the algo chart, and the technicals in the algo chart suggest that's just what it is. I don't know what the backstory will be on it, but at some point, they have to give a reason or a rationale why they think something's happening. I go by the technicals. I know nothing about what's going on behind the scenes. We know that there's a lot of economic stuff going on, but if you notice, markets have been resilient, so to speak, and doing whatever they want to do, regardless of what's happening in the economy. On the Nasdaq, same thing. Crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, and the beginning stages of a bearish trend momentum reading. And well, hey, sometimes these currencies don't make sense. I've seen the dollar be strong and commodities rally too. So even though we know textbook, it's not supposed to happen. A strong dollar is supposed to put pressure on commodity prices, right? But I've seen it and I've documented it here on this YouTube channel over the past several years, going back a decade now, more than a decade on YouTube. I have shown where the impossible takes place more often than not. You would think it would be rare, but it's not. I have shown there have been moments where bonds are down, gold and silver's down, commodities are down, the US dollar is down, the Bitcoin is down, bonds are down, everything's down. That's not supposed to happen. Stock market down, that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. Yes, there were times when all the currencies would be positive. You'd be like, "How is this? How is this? How is this happening?" So yeah, that lets you know that the level of manipulation that's happening on any given day, at any given time. And so now, before we go off into our private section, let's take a look at this Bitcoin here. Here's your Bitcoin future. So you hit a new 52-week high, you hit a new all-time high, 70K, which is exactly what we have been calling for. All right. So one more round of applause for the attack reports. All right. No one else was calling for 70K. They were calling for ridiculous numbers like a billion, a million, 10 million, 300,000, whatever. I said 70K is where we're going. Where did Bitcoin go? Bitcoin went to 70K and then immediately retreated just to prove me right. It went exactly where I've been telling you it's going to go. And what did we have? We had a crash alert. I was afraid that this chart pattern was going to manifest. And I warned you about this yesterday. All right. And it happened. And this happened. This is the second time history is repeating itself. The last time it hit the all time highs, it also corrected. All right. So, yeah, it is what it is. Okay. Um, yeah, the dollar is, doing its own thing. It's a complicated instrument, always has been. And, you know, it does what it does. I'm just being honest. A lot of economists hate even talking about the US dollar because it's such a controlled instrument and it's going to do whatever it does. Whatever the White House needs it to do is what they're going to do. If they need a strong dollar policy, then you better believe they're going to make sure that dollar stays above those certain thresholds that we talked about. All right. Traditionally, a U.S. dollar in the 90s or above, it's a strong dollar policy. Anything below 90 is a weak dollar policy. Um, your alarm bells start going off if it drops to 88. And then, of course, they start talking about Armageddon if it drops to 77. Okay. So those are your parameter thresholds for your US dollar. It has not changed. It's been like that for an extraordinarily long time. All right. So, yeah, it is what it is. Now, as far as gold, though, remember the precious metals, they manipulate those differently than they do any other instruments, regardless of what the dollar's doing or not doing. I've seen it when days where the dollar's getting crushed and gold and silver is getting crushed along with it. So it doesn't really have a rhyme or reason to it like it used to be. You used to be able to set your watch by this, and you knew that if the stock market was down, bonds were rallying and gold was rallying. It was just a fact. And so that's what it would be. You could actually use that as a trading methodology. You didn't have to even think. Oh, the Dow's negative. Bam, buy gold. Bam, buy bonds. Bond futures are rallying. Gold futures are rallying. It's a good day. And vice versa. But you can't do that anymore because of the level of manipulation and intervention. So as you can see here, you now have this crash alert for Bitcoin for tonight into tomorrow's trading. You also have a bearish trend momentum reading, which is a sell the rally mode. Now we're going to await confirmation tonight and tomorrow to see what the Bitcoin does. More often than not, when you get a big parabolic bar like this, there's the following. It usually follows the next day is a narrow range inside day, which sets up for the following day's big move, like a continuation pattern to the upside, or the thing falls out of bed. Now, these rally and crash alerts at times tend to lead the market 3 to 5 days out. So we'll wait and see how that goes. All right. So you have your marching orders. You should not be long. You should not be holding a long position in the Nasdaq futures right now. All right, you should have been stopped out of your longs. All right, and taking profit on those. You should not be holding longs in this market. All right, so FYI on that. And then our last one here before we go to the private. Here's your Dow. And the Dow did not give you the same type of readout that the others are giving you. And why is this not updating? Let me see here. This should be updating. So give me a second. Okay. All right. So the Dow did come down here and found an intraday support level, but it has not cracked yet, which is very interesting. You had your initial crash alert back here, and then you got your downside production, and then it went sideways for a little bit, and then it just broke here. So technically speaking, the Dow is not looking as bearish as the other ones, which is why I went ahead and pulled my short Dow. I went ahead and used today's down day as an opportunity to get out of the Dow short. So now I don't have any long or short stock market plays going right now. And I also got stopped out of the long Bitcoin, because when I told you guys to move the stop to 65, that's what I did. So now the only question is, where do you go from here? I'm going to show you what I'm going to do tonight. All right, so at this point, we say bye to Facebook and YouTube and Rumble, and we're going to go private. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And let's see here. Goodbye to YouTube.